If you're a fan of my channel, chances are you were also a fan of the giant boom of prehistoric documentaries that started in the late 90s and went on into the early 2010s. Some of these documentaries were a little bit hit and miss, and most of them are dated by today's standards. But 10 years ago in 2011, there was one documentary called Planet Dinosaur that started with a statement that kind of sticks to me to this day.
We're living through the golden age of dinosaur discoveries.
This declaration definitely remains true in late 2021, with a new discovery of a prehistoric animal on average every 2 weeks. The most recent of these is a small Ankylosaur found in Chile. Named Stegouros elengassen, this little guy lived in Gondwana, a landmass that included what would eventually become South America, Africa, India, Antarctica, and Australia. 74 million years ago, when Stegouros existed, the supercontinent had not completely drifted apart. By dinosaur standards, this creature was very small, only about 6 feet long and around 2 feet tall. But it wasn't defenseless. Like many of its northern relatives, it sported a tail weapon, but this one was unlike any other seen before. It looks more like a bladed mace than a club that most ankylosaurs would have. Some people have even compared it to the spiked maces used by Aztec warriors, which is kind of ironic considering where it's been discovered. Ankylosaurs are extremely rare in the southern hemisphere. In fact, only 3 other species have been described before Stegouros: Australia's Minmi and Conberasaurus, and Antarctopelta. I'll let you guess where that one's from. And those species are only known from a few handfuls of fragmentary remains. So it was quite the thrilling discovery when the remains were found to be 80% complete of Stegouros. This gives us the opportunity to learn more than any other previous fossil could provide about ankylosaurs across the southern hemisphere. But there was a bit of a problem. Many of Stegouros' features did not match with what we normally associate with armored dinosaurs. The skull, teeth, and tail were pretty typical of ankylosaurs. However, the slender limbs and pelvis looked more like they belonged to a stegosaur, like Stegosaurus or Kentrosaurus, dinosaurs that existed tens of millions of years before Stegouros. This discovery has led to a re-examination of the armored dinosaur family tree. It's widely accepted that Stegosaurus and Ankylosaurs are distantly related, but the discovery of this animal could lead to changes in our understanding. It's currently thought that the ancestors of Stegouros and other Gondwanan armored dinosaurs may have split off as much as 165 million years ago, leading to a totally different lineage that shared common traits with both groups. Every major discovery made helps us understand what life was like long ago. Unfortunately, we cannot see these animals alive to gain knowledge about them. So every new fossil found is a precious piece of that puzzle. Scientists in Chile and Argentina are going to continue to search across Patagonia, trying to find more fossils of Stegouros as well as other animals that they shared their environment with. And in doing so, we could learn about a completely new chapter in the history of life on Earth. And if hearing about that story is something that interests you, I would love it if you subscribe to the channel. At this point, this is basically just a part-time thing for me to do as a hobby. But someday I hope that maybe this can become something that I can do full-time. That'll require a lot more work on my part, as well as I'm going to have to obviously grow quite a bit more here on the platform. I know that sometimes it seems like my video schedule can be somewhat erratic and inconsistent, but if you want to see a little bit more consistent content, also consider following me on Instagram. There I generally at least post once a day talking about just different random prehistoric animals. I recently crossed 500 subscribers, so now the community tab will be open to me, and maybe I'll start to post some of my stuff there as well. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Take care, everybody.